Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining me today. Our presentation is titled Understanding and Shaping the Limbic Legacy, where we'll dive into how our emotional foundations play a crucial role in shaping behavior, communication, and the stories we share within our social circles. I'm excited to explore this fascinating topic with you and uncover the ways our emotions influence so much of what we do and how we connect with others. Let's get started. The limbic system is at the heart of how we experience emotions, store memories, and develop behaviors. This system creates what we call the limbic legacy, which is essentially the emotional and experiential imprint that shapes who we are as individuals and as cultures. Understanding the functions of the limbic system helps us see how these deep-rooted emotional processes influence not just our personal identity, but also the way communities and societies connect and evolve over time. This legacy is key to decoding the patterns of behavior and relationships that define our shared human experience. Emotions play a crucial role in shaping the legacy we leave behind. The way we respond emotionally to different situations influences not only our actions, but also how others remember us. These emotions are stored in our memory and guide our behavior and interactions, impacting perceptions over time. Our emotional experiences create lasting impressions that extend beyond ourselves, affecting social relationships and even crossing generations. At the heart of this process is effective memory, the ability to recall emotional experiences, which helps us build both personal stories and shared community narratives. This emotional foundation is essential for understanding how legacies are formed and sustained. When we talk about social narratives, we're looking at stories that arise from the collective emotions shared by communities and cultures. These narratives are like emotional undercurrents that shape how groups think and feel together. The phrase, what everybody's saying, really captures this idea. It reflects those deep emotional legacies that hold shared values, fears, and hopes within a community. Understanding these narratives is crucial because they help us decode how groups communicate their complex emotional histories. Plus, these stories play a key role in keeping people connected, as they're repeated in emotionally charged ways that reinforce group cohesion. Essentially, social narratives bind communities by weaving shared experiences and emotions into their collective identity. When we talk about the impact of limbic legacy on behavior and communication, it's important to understand that our emotional history plays a crucial role in how we interact with others. This legacy shapes our emotional responses, which in turn guide our behavior and decision making in social situations. For example, it influences how trust is built, how empathy is expressed, and how conflicts are resolved within our social networks. Moreover, limbic legacy affects how we interpret both verbal and nonverbal cues. It's not just about what is said, but also how it's said, the tone, body language, and facial expressions, all of which can trigger different emotional reactions based on our past experiences. These emotional responses and the behaviors they drive create patterns that either stabilize or transform our relationships. This means our social connections are constantly being shaped by this ongoing emotional influence. Finally, these behavioral patterns extend beyond individual relationships and impact organizational cultures. The collective limbic legacy within a group can determine whether an organization's culture remains steady or undergoes significant change. So, understanding this helps us better navigate and influence both personal and professional environments. Shaping your limbic legacy starts with making a conscious effort to understand and manage your emotional responses. When we become more aware of how our limbic system influences our feelings and actions, we can intentionally guide our behavior in positive ways. Some effective strategies for this include practicing emotional regulation, engaging in self-reflection, and building meaningful, positive social connections. By applying these approaches, we don't just improve ourselves, we also create a more supportive and uplifting emotional atmosphere around us. Ultimately, this helps us leave behind a constructive legacy that fosters growth both personally and within our communities. Let's start with the foundation, the limbic system, which plays a crucial role in forming our emotional and behavioral legacies. These legacies are the deep-rooted patterns that influence how we react and behave. Emotions stored in our memories are powerful. They shape not only how we see the world, but also how we interact with others, guiding our perceptions and our influence within relationships. On a larger scale, Social narratives within communities reflect these shared emotional legacies. In other words, the stories and values we pass around socially are deeply connected to our collective emotional experiences. This limbic legacy also has a significant impact on communication, affecting how groups function and relate to one another. But the good news is that we can intentionally direct our limbic legacy in positive ways. By developing emotional awareness, engaging in thoughtful reflection, and fostering empathy, we can live out this legacy effectively. This applies both personally and within our communities, helping us build stronger, more connected relationships.